Once we begin to catch on to the subtleness of reality, the outward impressions withdraw and fade away. You soon experience the joy of a new life like never before, and not what the religions refer to, but a whole new vista of opportunities. Your life is no longer from an object outside or an enigma to be solved, but one of a serene confidence and a living consideration. It is your secret alone. This discovery is from causing a sense of misery, becomes a source of wellness and light. This discovery, far from causing a sense of misery, becomes a source of wellness and light. After living so long in this world as a stranger, you learn to take refuge in your own solitude of exploration. You are now learning to perceive new worlds that will welcome you, and by you obtain the direct perception of these superior levels. To understand real truth does not demand violence. It needs true reverence and a willingness to listen. Real truth will only reveal itself to those who seek it and love it. Real guidance is the first step, then the focusing on the true attributes of the All-Is, which can only take place for each, which can only be purity, humility, sincerity, and gratitude. The great training that takes place for each U-tune is for the sole purpose of eventually becoming a real guide with the great reality, the Is. This new birth is what the theologians term as the descent of the Holy Spirit, ghost, but their terminology for the real connection with the All-Is is gone and no longer has any value or worth. But it does appeal to those that are of an intellectual nature and tend to follow some sort of lower authority of total control. Besides, theirs is the negative rays from the cow god and not the real light connection. The real illumination is united to an infinite love for what is real, the All-Is. This illuminated flame, this simultaneous love and knowledge, when both, rises and grows until finally, through a kind of personal ecstasy, our whole being is enkindled with a supreme desire to reach the seventh level and those worlds beyond it up to the All-Is. We must first have the super knowledge to succeed. The written presentation is always the first step, and then an examination of real experiences the student is having while the body is put to rest, or what is taking place with the new U sessions. There must be a sort of agitation occurring as we continue our endless journey. What I am referring to is nothing below our means, but of a sort of fueling ourselves to continue. The real adventure life is pretty words and old wisdom from times gone by is more for those who are content with the earthly life of a human. This is why all that has been documented has been so successful in the business world. And those who have formed their own religious sects are wealthy from it. To the unaware, they do not look past the accomplishments of those in control, but bow to them instead. And it is really the fruits of those who labors made it all possible for others to walk on them. So a continuous comparison must be obtained for one to reach into the real universes and become established there. We are now beyond the elementary positions which have been established by historical figures the public looks to. If the reality of life is bigger than what is on the earth, then why would a person even consider what is taking place in a dark realm and a floating rock in space? There is always more than what is seen. We first call this the impersonal state of intuition, or our no-thought perception, as we perceive and no longer divide into a thinking subject in an external world only, but rather the outer world is slightly transformed by this integration into our own personal awareness. Our personal awareness is by no means nullified. We are not abolishing the little personality, but providing a true completeness of the personal self. The summit of the the true reality can only be reached through this accepted position in a mode of comparison unlike anything the mind is used to. You cannot hope to possess other true riches than those we already bear with us. We should use them and not neglect them. Alas, they have been neglected for many eons, far past what we can even conceive. So familiar, yet unnoticed. They no longer appear of any value, and most pursue other Laudry chattels whose position is denied. Most have become so weak that the world is sometimes obligated to rebuff them and cause many to detach themselves from this world. The existence of the great reality is a true fact, and sooner or later all will ardently yearn for it. Those who approach this discovery realize they are among the select, an extremely limited number. Up until recently, the Western world had never been granted the privilege of having the true revelations of the real universal guides given in the common universal language. Throughout history, the philosophical and religious teachings have been veiled and shrouded in mystery to purposely keep people ignorant of the vital knowledge of life. That is why such teachings were classified as esoteric, known only to a limited number of those who were ready to become more aware. The real universal guides are the real connection to the all-is. A word from them is a word from the reality. They have no need to help others, for just being in their presence is elevating, inspiring, stirring, and life-giving. Their company is self-satisfying, and living in their presence is a real education. The reality as the all is, and who eager to imbibe the teachings and experiences of the real universal guides can drink the divine nectar. The student who positions themselves with the real guides with an intense and adamant degree of trust and true sincerity will become immortal beyond their own imagination. We are the real presence in this new nowness.